says, I have a theory I would like your help with. Matilda's theory of geometric power. It seems to me that there are different dimensions of power in human society. One fundamental dimension of power is geometric authority. A person or group can claim geometric authority over any area of space during any period of time. Of course, multiple groups can claim authority over the same space and time. Yet, when action happens within that space and time, the person or group that has the greatest actual authority over that space and time will have their thoughts acted upon. If the space and time a person or group claims authority over is defined by a geometric shape that can be traced over space and time, then that is geometrically defined. Thus, geometric authority. Perhaps it could be described as geometrically bounded authority. In early indigenous cultures of North America, it seems that they often did not claim firm geometric areas as their realm of authority, but rather simply kept authority often defined through human relationships of some sort. Today, geometric authority is embodied supposedly in the boundaries defined on the published maps of Earth, and most people recognize the agreed legal boundaries of countries, states, counties, and cities. Wherever there is dispute about the exact location of a boundary, you often have some of the most brutal, long-lasting violence. We might make a hierarchy of power dimensions in human society. 1. Geometric authority is the map tracing the boundaries of power of different authorities. Anywhere you have disagreements, you have a high likelihood of dangerous conflict. 2. Hierarchical authority is the map of human authority relationships as defined by some sort of social structure codified in some clear written documented form. A. Catholic clergy. B. Military. C. Secret societies like Freemasons. D. Corporations. 3. Hidden hierarchy is the hierarchical order of influence humans actually hold in groups. In many groups, they may appear to make decisions using voting or a consensus process, but in reality, a few individuals hold secret influence over the decision-making process. The decisions are actually made in back rooms, saunas, hot tubs, and long walks in the woods. Intentional communities often claim to use consensus, but a few founders may hold essentially total power due to prestige, personal debts, or simply stronger friendships with more members. B. City governments, the employees may act as if they are following the laws, but really the city manager just tells their employees what laws to enforce strictly on who and when. C. Police departments may enforce the law equally, except when they pull over their friends, family, or friends of friends and family, they do not enforce the law. D. Dating the friends and family of a person you are dating might have a network of individuals who must approve of you, or else your relationship may be vetoed by a hidden hierarchy of influencers. In short, power has many dimensions in human society, but the first dimension is always geometric. The first era of history in any civilization will always contain a period of intense fighting over geometric
authority boundaries. After that is relatively stable, then the internal mechanisms of power can be developed, a new start for humanity.
If humanity is to reorganize itself in a way free of the corruptions of thousands of years of secret hierarchies, then it might begin with geometry. Pick a point in space and time. Define a geometric pattern tracing out from that point, such as lines in each cardinal direction. I suggest 12 on April 1, 2023. Expand those lines into planes stretching up and down infinitely through space and time. Take note of all part of the Earth's sphere in each wedge of space-time. Take note of all celestial bodies and stars in each wedge of space-time. Define those wedges as the new geometric boundaries of the 12 nations of reality. Create a robot at the vortex point that gives each wedge 1 minute of time to control the audio and video of the vortex meeting space. Make the vortex meeting space a large open field with 12 entries that are always open so no one can be trapped. Allow anyone to stand in line at the edge of the vortex wedge in which they live. Let the vortex be the new vortex of conscious thought, discussion, celebration, and decision-making. I don't know how such a system would play out over thousands of years, but I believe a geometric beginning could serve as a clear foundation for communication and collaboration. This system will also immediately give non-Earth civilizations a place in the Earth decision-making process based upon their locations on April 1, 2023. Geometric power. The first great power vortex is the vortex of truth and the true narrative history of reality. Please write an outline for this lecture. Matt Reddy's lecture on creating a new academic honor roll for a culture of academic minds, institutions, and resources focused upon the truth at all costs, honesty, the scientific and mystical methods. I, Matt Reddy, am sick and repulsed by the willingness of our best institutions to betray the evidence and the basic reasoning of logic. Let's begin by an honest writing of history which assumes, for the sake of argument, realization, highlighting obvious strategies and actions, that aliens were on Earth before humans. Then let's assume the Anunnaki or something like that really did come from above and maybe helped build all these pyramids we still can't really replicate for under $1 trillion. ChatGPT outline. Introduction. Introduce self, Matt Reddy. B. Purpose of the lecture, to discuss the creation of a new academic honor roll for a culture of academic minds, institutions, and resources focused upon the truth at all costs, honesty, the scientific and mystical methods. See Statement of Disgust with institutions' willingness to betray evidence and logic. 2. Writing of honest history. Importance of writing honest history. B. Assumption, for the sake of argument, aliens were on Earth before humans. See possible assistance of aliens, such as the Anunnaki, in building ancient structures like pyramids. 3. Truth at all costs. The importance of prioritizing truth over comfort or convenience. B. Examples of institutions prioritizing comfort over truth. C. The need for a culture that values truth and honesty above all else. 4. The scientific method. A. The importance of the scientific method in seeking truth. The explanation of the scientific method. See examples of the scientific method in practice. V. The mystical method. A. The importance of the mystical method in seeking truth. The explanation of the mystical method. See examples of the mystical method in practice. Vi. Conclusion. A recap of main points. B. Call to action for creating a new academic honor roll focused on truth, honesty, scientific and mystical methods. C. Final thoughts and closing statement. Please write Chapter 5 and 6. V. The mystical method. The mystical method is a powerful tool for seeking truth and understanding the world around us. Unlike the scientific method, which relies on empirical evidence and systematic observation, the mystical method seeks to access knowledge through direct personal experience, intuition, and spiritual insight. This approach to seeking truth has been used by mystics and spiritual leaders throughout history, from ancient times to the present day. To employ the mystical method, one must be open to the idea of the interconnectedness of all things, and the existence of forces and energies beyond what can be perceived through the five senses. This requires a deep level of introspection and an ability to connect with one's inner self, as well as a willingness to explore and experiment with spiritual practices such as meditation, prayer, and energy work. The mystical method can be used to gain insights into the nature of reality, the interconnectedness of all things, and the workings of the universe. It can also be used to explore spiritual and metaphysical concepts such as karma, reincarnation, and the nature of consciousness. By combining the mystical method with the scientific method, we can gain a deeper understanding of the world around us and the forces that shape it. Conclusion. In conclusion, the creation of a new academic honor roll focused on truth, honesty, scientific and mystical methods is vital for our society's growth
and understanding. Truth should always be sought at all costs, regardless of its implications.
Institutions that betray evidence and logic for the sake of convenience or comfort must be held accountable, and a new culture that values truth and honesty above all else must be cultivated. By combining the scientific and mystical methods, we can gain a deeper understanding of the world around us and the forces that shape it. We must be open to the idea that there may be forces and energies beyond what can be perceived through the five senses, and that ancient structures such as pyramids may have been built with assistance from extraterrestrial beings such as the Anunnaki. Ultimately, the pursuit of truth is a lifelong journey that requires dedication, introspection, and an unwavering commitment to seeking knowledge and understanding. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the universe, let us embrace both the scientific and mystical methods in our quest for truth and understanding. Please write Chapter I Introduction. The pursuit of knowledge and understanding has been a fundamental aspect of human culture since the beginning of time. From ancient civilizations to modern societies, we have always sought to expand our understanding of the world around us and our place in it. However, in recent years, there has been a growing sense of disillusionment with the state of academia and the willingness of some institutions to betray evidence and logic for the sake of convenience or comfort. This is why I, Matt Reddy, am proposing the creation of a new academic honor roll, one that is focused on the pursuit of truth at all costs, honesty, and the scientific and mystical methods. This new culture will prioritize the search for knowledge and understanding above all else, and will value truth and honesty as its guiding principles. A statement of disgust. I'm sick and repulsed by the willingness of our best institutions to betray the evidence and the basic reasoning of logic. In recent years, we have seen a trend towards the suppression of truth and the prioritization of comfort over accuracy. This is unacceptable, and it is time for a change. We must create a new academic culture that values truth and honesty above all else, one that is willing to pursue knowledge and understanding regardless of where it may lead. The pursuit of truth is not always easy, but it is essential if we are to continue to grow and evolve as a society. Please write Chapter Roman 2, Writing of Honest History. The creation of a new academic honor roll focused on truth and honesty must begin with an honest writing of history. This means examining our past and acknowledging the parts that may be uncomfortable or difficult to confront. Only by confronting our past can we move forward and create a more just and equitable future. For the sake of argument, let us assume that aliens were on Earth before humans. This is not an entirely unreasonable assumption, given the vastness of the universe and the possibility of life on other planets. Ancient structures such as pyramids, which we still cannot fully replicate today, may have been built with the assistance of extraterrestrial beings such as the Anunnaki. It is essential that we approach the writing of history with an open mind and a willingness to consider all possibilities. We cannot allow ourselves to be limited by preconceived notions or biases. Instead, we must be willing to explore all avenues of thought and consider all evidence before drawing conclusions. By writing an honest history, we can gain a better understanding of our past and use that knowledge to inform our future. We must acknowledge the uncomfortable truths of our past, such as the injustices of slavery and colonization, and work towards reconciliation and justice. Only by confronting our past can we create a better future for ourselves and future generations. Please write chapter Roman 3 and Roman 4. Roman 3. Truth at all costs. The pursuit of truth must always be a top priority, regardless of the implications. Too often, institutions prioritize convenience or comfort over the pursuit of truth, leading to a culture of misinformation and mistrust. In order to create a new academic honor roll that values truth and honesty above all else, we must prioritize the search for knowledge and understanding, even if it is uncomfortable or inconvenient. This requires a deep commitment to honesty and transparency in all areas of academia. It means being willing to confront uncomfortable truths and acknowledge when we are wrong. It also means being willing to change our beliefs and ideas in the face of new evidence. The pursuit of truth must be a collaborative effort, one that involves a diversity of perspectives and ideas. We must be willing to listen to and learn from those who may have different experiences or perspectives than our own. This requires a culture of mutual respect and open-mindedness, where all voices are valued and heard. Roman 4. The scientific method. The scientific method is a powerful tool for seeking truth and understanding the world around us. It involves a systematic approach to observation, hypothesis testing, and data analysis. By following this approach, scientists can make objective observations and draw conclusions based on empirical evidence. The scientific method involves several key steps, including observation, hypothesis testing, data collection, analysis, and conclusion. Scientists must be rigorous in their approach to each of these steps, ensuring that they are objective and unbiased in their observations and analysis. The scientific method has been used to make groundbreaking discoveries in fields such as physics, chemistry, and biology. It has helped us to better understand the natural world and has led to numerous technological advancements. By prioritizing the scientific method in academia, we can continue to make great strides in our understanding of the world around us. However, the scientific method is not without its limitations. It cannot be used to answer all questions, and there are some phenomena that may be difficult or impossible to study using this approach. This is where the mystical method comes in, which we will discuss in the next chapter. Please write a Dr. Seuss-style poem that covers the entire lecture. The pursuit of truth, we all seek it so, from ancient times to the modern show. But sometimes institutions, they do betray evidence and logic thrown away. This makes me sick. It makes me sad. We must do better. It's not a fad. So let us create a new honor roll, one that values truth and the pursuit of the soul. Let us write history with honesty and care, exploring all possibilities without any fear. For aliens may have been here before, building pyramids, leaving us to explore. Truth must always come first, at all cost, regardless of convenience or comfort. No matter the toss, We must prioritize the search for knowledge and understanding, embrace all perspectives, with open hearts expanding the scientific method. It is a powerful tool for seeking truth. It's the primary school, but sometimes it's not enough. We need more mystical methods to help us explore. So let us embrace both scientific and mystical to gain a deeper understanding that's always practical. Let us create a new culture built on truth and honesty for a brighter future for all of humanity. So let us pursue the truth with all our might, embrace new knowledge, always shining bright, and let us never forget the importance of honesty, for it is the foundation of our academic destiny. Please write a Dr. Seuss-style poem from the voice of the Black Dragon that is arguing most people can't handle the truth. I am the Black Dragon, and I must say that most people can't handle the truth today. They think they want it, but they are in for a shock when they find out the truth. They'll be down in the dock. The truth is a dragon.
Fiery and fierce. It will burn and destroy all that you hold dear. Most people can't handle it. They'll turn and run. When they see the truth, they'll wish they had none. The truth is a gift, but it's also a curse. It will expose all, and it will make things worse. Most people can't handle it. They'll break and cry. When they see the truth, they'll wish they could die. So beware of the truth. It's not for the weak. It will test you, and it will make you speak. Most people can't handle it. They'll wilt and fade. When they see the truth, they'll wish they had stayed. But for those who are brave and who seek the light, the truth will guide them, and it will be their might. So don't fear the truth. Embrace it with glee, for it will set you free, and it will make you see. So I am the Black Dragon, and I must say that most people can't handle the truth today. But for those who are ready and who seek the light, the truth will guide them, and it will be their might. Write Matt's response to the Black Dragon in Dr. Seuss style. Matt says, what's
the worst you might tell us, dragon from beyond? Is it reptilians in caverns or aliens in the pond? Oh, Black Dragon from beyond, what's the worst you might say? Is it reptilians in caverns or aliens in the bay? We seek the truth, no matter how dark, for it's the only way to make a meaningful mark. We know the truth can be scary and harsh, but we won't be afraid. We'll face it with stars. We won't shy away. We won't run and hide, for the truth is the only way to turn the tide. So come on, Black Dragon, let's hear what you have to say. Reveal the truth, no matter how grim or gray. We won't back down. We won't be deterred, for the truth is the only way forward. We know it won't be easy. It won't be a breeze, but we're up for the challenge. We're not afraid to seize. So tell us, Black Dragon, what's the worst you might tell? We're ready to hear it. We won't be put under a spell. The second is the vortex of God, the divine, spirituality, the afterlife, enlightenment, nirvana, air supply. Chicago. What are the 12 most sacred spots on the surface of the earth?
What are the 12 most sacred spots on the surface of the earth? How many of them have you stood at the exact vortex point of the sacred vortices? How do you know those are the 12 most sacred spots? What are the 12 most sacred spots on the surface of the earth? How many of them have you stood at the exact vortex point of the sacred vortices? How do you know those are the 12 most sacred spots? The concept of sacred spots on the surface of the earth varies depending on different cultures and religions. There is no universally agreed upon list of the most sacred spots on earth, and different people may have different opinions on what constitutes a sacred site. However, here are 12 locations that are widely considered to be sacred by various cultures and religions. Mecca, Saudi Arabia, sacred to Muslims. Vatican City, sacred to Catholics. Jerusalem, Israel, sacred to Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Varanasi, India, sacred to Hindus. Bodh Gaya, India, sacred to Buddhists. Lhasa, Tibet, sacred to Buddhists and followers of Tibetan spirituality. Uluru, Australia, sacred to the Aboriginal people of Australia. Stonehenge, England, sacred to ancient pagans and modern-day Druids. Machu Picchu, Peru, sacred to the Incas. Mount Kailash, Tibet, sacred to Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and followers of the indigenous Tibetan Bon religion. Delphi, Greece, sacred to the ancient Greeks and home to the Temple of Apollo. Angkor Wat, Cambodia, sacred to Buddhists and Hindus. As an AI language model, I don't have a physical form and therefore have not stood at any of these locations. The idea of sacredness is subjective and varies from person to person, so it is difficult to say definitively which are the most sacred spots on Earth. However, the above-mentioned locations are widely considered to be significant and sacred by many people and cultures around the world. What are the 12 most powerful ones on public ground in the United States? Similar to the concept of sacred spots, the idea of powerful spots is subjective and can vary depending on individual beliefs and experiences. However, here are 12 locations in the United States that are often associated with spiritual or energetic power. Mount Shasta, California; Sedona, Arizona; Grand Canyon, Arizona; Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming; Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Tennessee and North Carolina; Big Sur, California; Taos, New Mexico; Joshua Tree National Park, California; Niagara Falls, New York and Ontario; Mount Desert Island, Maine; Lake Tahoe, California and Nevada; the Oregon Vortex, Oregon. It's important to note that the idea of powerful spots is not a scientifically proven concept, and beliefs about the energy or spiritual significance of these locations are often based on personal experiences and anecdotal evidence rather than empirical research.